In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a Lego cake topper in Silhouette Studio. Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, I am Sam and welcome to the Ellie Rose Party Designs community. On my channel, we talk about everything to do with Silhouette Studio, Photoshop, how to assemble your party decorations, and so much more. Now, if this interests you at all, consider hitting that subscribe button down below and the notification bell, which will notify you every time I upload a video. So to get started, we need to open up our Silhouette Studio software. Now, the software that I am using is the Silhouette Studio Business Edition software. I do believe that you'll be able to do what I'm going to be showing you in the basic free version too. But if Silhouette Studio designing software is something that you are definitely interested in, I do have a link down below on how to upgrade to the business edition. It is an affiliate of mine, so I do get a small commission, but at no extra cost to yourself, and it does help myself and my family out, so I greatly appreciate it. So to get started, this is our Lego cake topper that we are going to be making from scratch. So you are going to be needing a few things, and that is obviously your clip art and to download this particular font. Alright, so these two right here, this one here and this one here, are the two ones that I will be using in this tutorial. All I did was look into Google, and for this one here I just typed in Lego wallpaper and I went into the image section, and that's where I found that there are so many different varieties of pages. So just have a look at what you would be interested in. And this one here, I just typed in Lego coloring in page, and that's the one that I selected. So you can pick whichever one you want. I can show you how we're gonna design it, and you can do this pretty much with any type of Lego or any type of coloring in page. Lego font that you need to upload is called this one here, Legothick, I think it might be. I will link it down below anyhow. I believe I downloaded that from DaFont. Okay, so this is all just for personal use. I'm not using it commercially, so DaFont is always a great place to go to. If we dissect this entire let's just move you. Okay, so we have our 5, we have our, let me just get this out the way. Alright, so we've got our name, we have our age and the little 5 that are popped onto the t-shirt, and then we have him, and then we have our circle. So all I pretty much did was, so we open up to a new page. It doesn't really matter the size of your page. Well, it does kind of, I suppose. So you need to go over here and make sure that you have it set as your letter size, or if you're in Australia or South Africa, you use an A4 size. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make a circle shape. So we're going to do this one here. Alright, so all we're going to do is hover over here, and we are going to click onto circle. I'm then going to go ahead and hold the shift key, and I'm going to hit and I'm just going to click onto, see, so all I'm going to do is hit shift and click and drag, and as you can see on the left hand side and underneath is the size. So you're going to pretty much just drag it out to whatever size printable you are wanting. So my cake was 6 inches, so I am just going to make it just under 6 inches to about there. Okay, so as you can see, that is this part here. So the next part I'm going to do is, if we just click onto that, alright, I actually might just make that a little bit, let me just see what size it was. Okay, it doesn't really matter the size because you can obviously reduce it. Alright, so we're just going to go over and select our wallpaper. If you're finding I'm going a bit fast or you are wanting to learn a little bit more, I do have a free ebook on getting started with making party printables in Silhouette Studio. I will link it down below for you too. Alright, so let's click into where you have saved your clip art, and here is my wallpaper. I'm just going to click and I'm going to drag that into Silhouette, and I'm going to drag it right over my design. Alright, and that's where it is, and that's pretty much where it's landed, which is perfectly fine by me. Now if you find that you aren't liking where it has kind of snapped into place, you can always go to right over here, which is your fill panel, and we're going to go into this little dot section, and we're going to click onto advanced, and we're going to scroll down, and if you have a look down here, it says pattern. You select pattern, and then you can kind of manipulate it to wherever you want it to kind of go. So I kind of want it to have a variety of all the colors, so I'm just going to click onto there like that. Alright, now the next thing I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to do a little white border offset on that. Okay, and to do an offset, all we need to do is go over here to this little stars, and it says offset panel. We're going to click that, and we're going to click offset, and I am going to reduce that to say 80 and hit apply. I'm then going to go over here and I'm going to click white and white. The next thing I'm going to do is, if you have a look here, let's just ungroup that. We have got 1, we got 2, we got 3, and we got 4. Now, of course, you don't need to have that many layers upon layers. I just wanted the variety of different colors. Okay, so next then I'm going to click onto my white, and I'm going to do another offset, and this time I'm going to make that say 100. I'm going to hit apply, and I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to make it like a blue and a blue, and then on top of that I'm going to do another offset, and let's make that also 100, and I'm going to make that red and red. Okay, and there is our background. I'm just going to click and select it all by just clicking and dragging over the design, and I just hit the group, so it's now all just one whole piece. Let's go ahead now and import our little man. So here I am here. I'm just going to click and I'm going to drag you in, and there it is there. Now I realize that I also need this little guy here, and let's drag you in too, and there it is there. Alright, these are two guys. I'm just going to zoom out a bit here. Okay, so here is my one. As you can see, this one here is obviously not a proper file because it's got all the little pixel things around it, so I don't think it's going to copy very well, so that's the reason why I have brought in this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use this one. All I'm going to do is exit out of view, is click over here, and that is your trace panel, and we're going to select trace area, and I'm just going to click and I'm going to drag right over my coloring page. Okay, and then I'm just going to hit the threshold, and all the threshold's going to do is pretty much make these yellow areas as straight lines as possible. Okay, so if I went all the way to 100, you can see that it goes all like fuzzy, so we're going to reduce that until we are happy with our. So I'm just going to kind of work my way. Alright, I think about there. Okay, and then I'm just going to click the trace button. And what it's going to do is just going to trace exactly what we have selected. Okay, so there it is there. So I'm just going to move you to the side. And I am going to highlight what we've just done and right click, and I'm going to hit release compound. Now before I do that, I'll just show you. This is all one piece. I'm wanting to obviously detach all those pieces so that I can change the color on each one. So to do that, we need to right click and hit release compound. Now you'll see that they are all pieces. Okay, like there and there and there. Alrighty, so let's go back, and there it is. Okay, so what I'm going to pretty much do is, let's just zoom in a little bit more. I'm going to take out all the little pieces that I do not want, and by looking at it I can see I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you. And I mean, you could just go ahead and download a clip art of a Lego character if you really wanted to avoid doing this step, and then you just print it as a clip art, like a just like a normal printable, and then cut that out and stick that onto your cake topper. That's also fine, but I'm just showing you something different, I suppose, and hopefully you guys will learn something from this. Alright, so let's just click onto you, and I'm just going to delete you, so that's all out of the way. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click on the outside thing, which is my the outside part. So if I just move you to the side, you see how that's just like the shadow of it. Alright, I am going to make you, just move it back, I'm going to make you black. Okay, and then we have our head, and I'm going to make you yellow. I'm going to make you yellow too, and his little neck area we're going to make you white, yellow also. I'm going to make his shirt red, and red and red. His little hands are going to be yellow and yellow. I'm then going to take you, and you are going to be the denim. So you can, what you can do is to make the process a lot more quicker is I'm going to click on to you, and then I'm going to hit shift, and I'm going to click, 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 click, and click, and then I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to go like that. Done. Now this is where that other image comes in, where I'm wanting obviously the face. So let's just bring you over, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the select tool, and I'm just going to scan over that part, or highlight that part, and I'm just going to do the threshold just a little bit bigger to about there, and I'm going to hit the trace tool again, and let's move you to the side, and there is our image there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag you, and I'm going to bring you in. Okay, what you can do is just make it black, but if you were cutting this out by a cutting machine just to save on ink, just to save on paper, instead of sitting there having to glue on 2 dots, all you have to do is we're going to highlight you, and we're going to highlight you and you, and I am going to go to object, modify, subtract, and that has now made it one whole piece. So that's now just pretty much been cut out, and let's put you back in. Okay, it needs to be a little bit more higher up. Okay, there you go. So what I'm going to do is, so if you really wanted to, you could cut out each one of these pieces and put them together if you're wanting to really save on ink. Okay, so that's how you would make that. So let's just highlight everything. I am going to group all of that for now, and I am going to pop you over here. Now I did actually make the red a lot more dark, brighter there, so you can change it if you want to, but I'm just going to leave him as he is. All right, so now that we've grouped it, we now can do our offset around it. So we're wanting to make a white offset, so I find that it just stands out a lot more, and I'm going to make that say 100 and hit apply, and I'm going to make you white. Okay, and then I believe I might have actually made that a bit, let's just make it a little bit more bigger. So I'm going to hit offset, and I'm going to make it say 125. All right, and let's go here and hit white. All right, I'm then going to go ahead and click onto you, and I'm going to make another offset. Let's make this 100, and this one is going to be, oops, this one is going to be black. So let's just group you all together, and I am now got my little man. That's how easy it is. So let's bring you in, and let's bring you in. All right, it's coming along nicely, I think. All right, so what we need to do now is to do our name and our age. Now the age is really easy. All we need to do is to click over here to our text, and you find the text that you want. I normally use one that is called, oopsie, this one here, which is Futura Condense Extra, and I'm just going to type in, let's just do 6 for something different. Okay, and then I am just going to make it the size that I want it. Okay, so about that size, and then I'm just going to make that white. All right, and then this is where all the offsets then come in again, just to make it stand out a lot more. So I am going to do an offset on that, and that offset is going to be say 100. Okay, and we're going to make that black, and I'm going to make it black. All right, then I'm wanting to do another offset, and then I'm wanting to do 100 again, and that one is going to be yellow. Let's do yellow. Okay, and then I'm going to do another offset, and this time it's going to be red. Alrighty, so let's group all of you together, and let's pop you on top, say about there. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on to our text, and we're going to go over here, and I'm going to click onto our Legothick or Legothick. Alright, and I'm just going to enter in our name, and I'm just going to do Cody, which is obviously the one I'm going to go with. Now you can see over here, let's just zoom in here a bit. That's how it comes, where it's got like a layer and an offset around it. Okay, so if you go over here and you ungroup that, it's still all together. Okay, and you kind of can't ungroup it, so it is a bit annoying, but this is the way how I would do it. So I would highlight everything, right click, release compounds. I would then go ahead, and you have your parts that are like that, and you then have your parts like that. So we're going to highlight these parts, and these parts are going to be all the white. Okay, Now remember that you have your little cutout, so we need to obviously cut that out. So to cut it out, we need to go right click and modify crop. Whoopsie. So let me just see if this is on top or at the bottom. Okay. Well, that explains why. Alright, so let's just bring, you need to go on top. So we'll bring to the front. So what we need to do is to click onto you and make sure that you are in the center. And then make sure you are in the center. Alright, so let's do this again. So it's highlight, object, modify, subtract. And the same as this one. Subtract. And there you go. Alright, so that's why I say there is a little bit of messing around a bit, but there's always a way. Alright, and then these ones here, I'm just going to highlight all of them. And they are all going to be black. Alright, and then you can click onto you guys, right click, send to back, and there are those ones. Okay, then what we need to do is kind of put an offset around all of those. So let's just group these individually again so that they don't move around. Okay, so let's see how we want this. We kind of want it in line with each other. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we're going to highlight all of them. We're going to group it. We're then going to have an offset around that. And the offset is going to be, say, 0.150, so something fairly big. Yep. And we're going to click here and we're going to hit our yellow button, and there you go. And then what we can do is, if you move here to the side, there it is there, and there is our letters. So what you can do is obviously click that and ungroup that again, but for now I'm going to leave it as is and I'm going to bring it over here. So let's have a look at our, might make you a bit bigger, like that. Now that is that, and we might make you a little bit higher, and you go there. Okay, and then the other thing that I want to show you is all I did was right click that, duplicate this, minimize that, and popped you on the t-shirt. So with regards to now printing your design, let's just move all of us to the side. So to printing your design, you can either do a few different ways. You can either print it like that. Let me just move you and move. So you could just group you. All right, so you can either print it like that, and print it like that, and print it like that, and print it like, you know, with that on there too, okay? And then you cut that out as one item to cut, all right? Or what you can do is, which is what I'm going to show you in the assemble part of this video. I do have a second part to this video, which is teaching you how to actually assemble this. I have actually layered it because I thought, why not? All right, and it saved me on ink. So to do that, I'm going to show you that step. All right. So all I did was I ungrouped everything, and I pretty much selected all the colors that needed to be printed together. So what I did was let me just ungroup you. So what I did was this one here I actually printed out as one thing, and I printed this one out too. And I believe that was all that I printed. Okay, so I kind of did that. Let's just maneuver you to there. Okay, and then what I did was I did a print and cut with this one. So you can go here and click onto your registration marks. This of course just tells the cutting machine exactly where you need to cut. I do recommend it, but I don't always use it because I'm pretty accurate with when I place my paper onto the mat. Now, once that has been, so sorry, you're going to print that out first. My apologies. We print it out first by making sure that your print page setup is selected to the correct printing size. We're then going to go over here and we're going to hit print, and it's going to bring up your preview. You're going to have a look at it and make sure you're happy with it, and then you're going to hit print. Okay, now once you've done that, that's when you're going to load it into your machine, and then we're going to go over here to send, and you're going to make sure that we are on simple and cut edge. All right, so that is how you're going to do, sorry, and then you're going to go cut edge, and then you're going to hit send. Okay, so once you've done that, we move that to the side. Now the next part is I'm then going to grab all of I'm actually going to turn off the registration marks because I don't feel I need them. I am going to upload onto my mat the blue cardstock, and I'm just going to find all of my blue items. So I've got white and red there. I've got nothing there, and I've got nothing there. So then I will just go ahead and go straight to my machine, and I'm just going to cut that one out. All right, so you can either keep it there, or I would go over here and hit cut cardstock, and make sure that that says cardstock plain, and then I'm going to hit send, and I'm going to cut it out. All right, and then I'll move that onto the side. Then I'm going to pick, say for instance, all of my whites. So I would ungroup you. I would then select all of my white stuff, ungroup again. All right, I'm not going to do all of this, but you're going to kind of see what I mean. And then I'm going to ungroup you, grab all my white stuff, stick you there, and then that would obviously be a white one there too. Click you in there, and then I believe I had you. All right, so because you can't see them exactly, I'm just going to move them here. So pretend that this is our board, and then I'm just going to pop all of you in, stick you back in there. All right, and then I am going to go to send, and I'm going to do the same thing. Yeah, and there it is there. All right, and then I would hit obviously load my white cardstock into my Cameo and hit send, and then it will cut out. Okay, and then you would keep going until you have pretty much downloaded, or so you have cut every single one of your cardstock. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. See you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.